Hola, en esta lección vamos a hablar sobre las preguntas en español. In this lesson, we're going to talk about questions in Spanish. So what I want to focus on are three types of questions that we're primarily going to see, and these are sí or no questions, either or questions, como este o ese, and question words, or what I like to call fill-in-the-blank type questions. These are using palabras interrogativas, or question words, in their questions. So let's start with the most simple, the sí or no questions. This is simply a question that is more or less a statement and turned into a question. So for example, I might say, ¿Eres alto? Are you tall? Or ¿Eres de Florida? Are you from Florida? So if you notice, the answer is within the question, and you simply answer with sí or no. So en este caso, you might say, sí, soy alto. Or for me, I would answer, no, no soy alta, soy baja. You might answer, ¿Eres de Florida? You're going to reply back with, sí, soy de Florida. Or no, no soy de Florida, soy de Kansas, or wherever you might be from. So these are simple questions. And there's a couple ways that you can form these. One, just simply as I put them here in the statement form, and then you put your question marks on either end. And on that note, if you notice, in Espanol, when we punctuate with a question mark or an exclamation point, we do put that punctuation at the end and the beginning. Okay, only for those two situations. A period is going to just be a period at the end. We're not going to change that and put it at the beginning or anything. But for a question, we are going to put that upside down question mark at the beginning and then a regular question mark at the end. So you're going to see that in all questions in Espanol. Sometimes you'll see it placed around the exact question portion, as opposed to when there's a statement that leads into a question. You'll see it kind of placed a little bit differently than in English. But of course, we always just put our question marks at the end, so it's kind of hard for us to think about that, oh, this was the portion of the question. So in Spanish, you will see it written that way. One example is another way that we could write these questions, and that is by stating the question, but simply adding no at the end in question form. So we add that inflection in our voice when we're asking. Por ejemplo, ¿Eres alto? No. Right? Or I might say, ¿Eres de Florida? No. And in this case, we're simply stating the fact that we think is true, and we're saying right. So you might use this in a situation where you kind of assume that the answer is yes, even though you're saying no. No at the end is really just meaning right. Isn't that true? So stating what you already think is true. For example, ¿Eres un estudiante en Northwest Florida, no? So you're stating something you already think the answer is yes, and you're just kind of wanting that verification or clarification by following up with no, just to be sure. But if you're just asking the question outright, are you a student? ¿Eres un estudiante? Then you don't have to put that no, and you would make the whole thing the question like you see in the first example. So a couple of different ways that you can ask those sí or no questions. And the second type is an either or this or that, okay? And I'm going to be asking, like, do you want this? Do you want that? All right? ¿Te gustan los tacos or la pizza? Más. Okay, do you like this or that? What do you want, this or that? So you're going to be choosing from a list, usually two things. Often it could be more than one thing. Do you like, blue, green, yellow, or red? The best. So it could be a list and a number of things. But you're given choices, and the answer is typically one or, a number of those choices. So un ejemplo sencillo, here's just a simple example you see with ¿Eres alta o baja? So here I am not assuming that you're either one. I'm asking which you are. So, ¿Eres alta o baja? And you're going to reply with soy baja or soy alta. ¿Eres de Florida or de California? Soy de Florida. So I'm kind of assuming that you're going to choose one of the things from the list as your answer. I'm just going to asking you that with oh. Okay. If I have a list of things, of multiple things, it's very similar to English. I just separate the list of things with a comma, and then the last one would be oh. Okay. Or. Oh is or. And the last type of question I like to talk about are the fill-in-the-blank type questions is what I call them, because you have a question word, una palabra interrogativa, and you have to answer the question with some piece of information that's not already provided in the question. So as you saw in these two examples, the answer's in the question somewhere. Either I've stated it and you're just verifying sí or no, or I'm giving you options and you're choosing the one. But in this case, it's more of an open-ended question. So you're giving the response because I am not giving you choices. So, por ejemplo, ¿cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? I'm asking you, how do you call yourself? Or what is your name? As we like to translate in English. So the how, the como is what you're giving me. The how, the what you call yourself, right? Your name. So you're going to answer that with your name. I would say Amber. If I want to answer a complete sentence, I'm going to look back at the question and I need to take that subject and verb and make sure that I apply it to whoever the subject and verb in the answer is. In this case, if it's directed to me, if it's a personal question, then the subject and verb in the question is always going to be en la forma de tú or usted. It's going to be in the you form. And when I answer, I'm going to have to answer with yo, la forma de yo, because I'm answering for myself. So keep that in mind. You wouldn't answer with te llamas Amber, because then I'm telling you your name is. So, ¿cómo te llamas? And you're going to say me llamo, fill in the blank with the correct answer. ¿Cómo eres? I want to know, how are you? ¿Cómo eres? You're going to say soy, I am, followed by however you are, your description. Soy baja y atlética, inteligente y whatever other adjectives you want to add, generosa. If I'm asking about another person, por ejemplo, I would like saying, ¿quién es? Or, ¿quién es el profesor de inglés? Or if I'm asking about something else, ¿cuál es la fecha? I'm not going to change the verb because it's still going to be talking about that other thing. It's not directed to you. What is your name? Where are you from? I'm asking about this third person thing or this outside thing. And so we're going to still be answering with that. So, en este ejemplo, ¿quién es? Who is that? Who is it? Who is it? You're going to say, es Elena. Fill in the blank with the quién. If I say, ¿quién es el profesor de inglés? Who is the English professor? You're going to answer me with es, or la profesor de inglés es, and give me the answer to the quién. Quién is our fill in the blank there. And then you would say, el señor García. Another question might be, ¿qué hora es? And actually in this case, I'm wanting to know ¿qué hora? I'm wanting to know all that. What is the hour? What time is it? So we know when we tell time, we saw in the other lesson, we say es if it's in the 1 o'clock hour, or son las. So I'm going to just give you the answer to that. ¿Qué hora es? What is the hour? Son las 10:30. It's 10:30. Okay. If I say ¿cuál es la fecha de hoy? ¿Cuál, perdón, es la fecha de hoy? Okay. In this case, again, the cuál, the which, the what, is what I'm trying to find out. So I can restate that question to make it a complete sentence by saying, la fecha de hoy es. And then I give the answer there. I don't repeat cuál. I don't repeat my question word because I'm providing that information. So I could say, la fecha de hoy es el 8 de junio. And el 8 de junio es la respuesta. That is my answer, and that is my fill in the blank for that question. Okay? So hopefully those examples cleared up any confusions you might be feeling with any questions. Hopefully that made sense to you. If you have any further questions about this topic, feel free to message me, or you can ask those questions when we have our class discussion on this chapter. And I hope that you have a better understanding of cómo hacer las preguntas y usar las palabras interrogativas and using question words en español. Hasta luego.